You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome to Founder Friday. It is December 19th, 2025. You know, sometimes it feels like as a founder, you have to catch up on, like 3 years of marketing changes every single quarter?
Oh, at least. The speed of it all is just staggering.
It is. And our whole mission here is to take this mountain of material, all the data, the case studies, and really just distill the most important, highest leverage insights for you. And we're trying to give you that shortcut to being incredibly well-informed.
Exactly. Because we're in this moment where the old playbooks, they're not just slowing down. They're collapsing.
Collapsing, that's a strong word.
It is. Discovery is fractured. The rules for how you even get seen are changing, like daily.
Yeah.
You need a strategy that's not about maximizing clicks anymore. It's about engineering genuine relevance.
And that's the core of what we do here at the Vocal Technologist, right?
Yeah.
Understanding the tech that's driving all this change. And what we've gathered for today is just packed with concrete strategies. We're focused on finding those tactics that give you a real, 12 to 24-month advantage. So
Yeah.
let's jump in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with this massive shift in visibility. I mean, where people find things has just fundamentally changed. We used to worry about the first page of Google. Now it's about that little box, isn't it? That what people are saying feature.
It's everything. And what's so fascinating is how quickly Google was sort of forced to embrace the social world. They are pulling social feeds directly into search results.
So content you make outside of your own website is suddenly critical for SEO.
It's absolutely critical, and the numbers behind it are just wild. Since October, LinkedIn posts drove an estimated 2.2 million organic sessions.
Okay, that's pretty big.
But wait, Twitter threads pulled in 19 million monthly sessions.
19 million. That's a 243% increase.
It's an explosion. Even Threads is driving over 1 million sessions, so this isn't just, random noise. It's a real, measurable, high-volume channel.
So the takeaway for a founder listening right now is that a little bit of SEO-style thinking on your social posts can actually drive real search traffic.
A huge amount. And it's not that complicated.
What does that look like, though? Like, what is minimal optimization on a LinkedIn post?
It's about structure. The posts that are ranking are longer. They're query-focused. And they cover topics people actually search for, professionally, AI, careers, that kind of thing.
So you're not just writing a tweet anymore. You're writing a mini structured blog post that happens to live on Twitter.
You are. You're feeding the search algorithm through the social platform.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the other big visibility problem, the AI visibility split.
Right. This is so important. You have to treat AI mode and AI overviews as two completely different channels.
Yes. So for anyone who's not deep in this, AI overviews are those short summarized answers you see right at the top of the search results.
And AI mode is the full conversational chatbot style interface.
Exactly. And you'd assume they pull from the same information.
You would. But the data shows they're radically different.
They are. I mean, they agree on the meaning of an answer 86% of the time, but they only share about 14% of the same citations and only 16% of the same words.
Wait, that's a huge divergence. And the AI mode responses are way longer.
About 4 times longer, and they include 3 times more brands or entities.
So, okay, hold on. This sounds like I'm now doubling my work. I have to optimize for 2 different AI systems. Is the ROI really there for a small team?
That's the strategic question, and the material suggests you. You have to master both. Think about this. If your brand gets mentioned in that short AI overview,
Yeah.
it only shows up in the longer AI mode response 61% of the time. And when it does, it's usually next to more competitors.
Oh, that's not good.
But here's the killer stat. The short AI overviews, they show 0 brands in almost 60% of all their answers.
Wow. So if you only focus on the short one, you're invisible more than half the time, and you're missing out on the deeper, more authoritative response.
You're sacrificing 400% more real estate. It just confirms that getting seen now is a multi-channel technical game.
Speaking of technical, you were telling me about this wild insight into how the AIs actually think.
Yes, this is a huge advantage for creators. There are tools now that can show you the hidden queries ChatGPT is running behind the scenes.
Like its internal monologue.
Exactly. You type in a simple prompt like best marketing strategy for 2026. The AI, it silently rewrites that. It strips out filler words, it adds context, and it turns your one question into multiple really specific internal searches.
That is a massive edge.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you can stop guessing what a human might search for and start matching your content to what the AI is actually looking for. You discover all these new, hyper-specific query variations. It's like getting the perfect keyword list for free.
That's a perfect transition from getting found to what happens after they find you, to internal relevance. How do we speak their exact language?
Yeah.
Which brings us to segmentation.
And the Grüns case study here is it's a perfect example. A $500 million valuation in 20 months.
Oh.
By creating 6 distinct customer journeys for one single product.
6 journeys. For a vitamin gummy, how does that even work?
That's the genius. They didn't just make a generic health page. They zeroed in on 6 very specific problems. Gut health, weight loss, and this is the really smart one. Support for people on GLP-1 medications.
Ah, okay. That's a huge market. So they're not segmenting by demographics. They're segmenting by psychological need.
Yeah.
By a specific life situation.
Exactly. And each of those 6 segments got its own unique landing page, its own testimonials, its own lead magnet. You never just see the generic product. You only see the solution to your problem.
And the results were insane. 40x revenue growth and a 14% drop in customer acquisition costs. But the scale. How do you even manage that?
They have over 1,200 meta ads running at any given time.
1,200.
That sounds impossible, but it just shows you that relevance is the new way to scale. You have to engineer it.
Incredible. So moving from that kind of paid scale to community scale, let's talk about product end.
Yeah, their model is fascinating because they deliberately avoided paid tactics. They focused on community validation first, on density. They went from 4,000 to 100,000 super curated users, makers, early adopters before they try to get huge.
And they created urgency with those one-day launches.
That's the key. And the proof is in the traffic. 57% of their traffic is direct.
People typing in the URL, they want to be there. They're not being tricked by an ad.
Which leads right into matching your tone to that audience's intent. Because if someone is looking for information, they want something very different than someone looking for entertainment.
2 different animals.
Completely. For information seekers, balanced content is more credible. We saw data that Yelp accounts with 3- or 4-star average ratings got over 100% more followers than the ones that were just glowing 5-star reviews.
People want nuance, authenticity.
But if they're looking for entertainment, the rules just flip. Highly positive, joy-focused content gets way more followers. The key for brands, though, is that a friendly, genuine tone converts better no matter what. Humanity still wins.
Let's shift to the bigger picture here. We're hearing talk about the end of brand value. It sounds a bit dramatic, but I think it points to something real.
It's not the end of brands, but it's the end of brands built just on logic or a checklist of features. Neuroscience is showing us that emotional significance is a much better predictor of what people will actually do than what they say they'll do.
So brands need to stop just optimizing the checkout flow and start engineering actual emotional shifts, creating confidence or delight.
Or even showing vulnerability. Small, intentional things. A handwritten note in a package. A founder sharing a real failure. That's the stuff automation can't replicate. Automation handles the transaction. The human touch creates the bond.
And that craving for the human touch is leading straight to this idea of an anti-AI premium.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As the internet gets flooded with AI content, proving something was made by a human is becoming a competitive advantage, a premium feature.
We're already seeing it, right? iHeartMedia, Apple TV, they're marketing their stuff as made by humans.
They are, because consumer trust in digital media is starting to crack.
The Coca-Cola Christmas ad is the perfect example of this whole conflict.
It really is. They used AI to recreate parts of their classic ad. It was faster, it was cheaper, and the impression numbers were high.
But the backlash.
The backlash was huge. People called it soulless. It shows that when you're dealing with emotion and nostalgia, prioritizing efficiency over authenticity can really, really backfire. Sometimes being cheaper is much more expensive for the brand long term.
And that fatigue from all the soulless AI and the constant notifications,
Yeah.
it's driving this big return to physical, tangible things.
The numbers are painful. We check our phones over 140 times a day. 96% of digital detoxes fail within a month. Our brains are they're exhausted. They're starved for something real.
And that's fueling growth in things like brand gifting, vinyl records, collectible card games, even nice stationery.
All things that force you to slow down. It connects to this idea of a consumer joy deficit, especially during stressful time like the holidays. People want connection and affordable luxuries, not just another aggressive promotion.
Okay, let's wrap this up with some super direct, high-leverage tactics. Things a founder can do next week. First up, the amplifier strategy for a launch.
This is the #1 mistake. Founders focus on the buyers first. You have to focus on the amplifiers.
The journalists, the creators, the trusted communities.
Yes.
Right.
You have to build a plan to get them involved before you launch to everyone else. You need to design your story with specific hooks just for them, because distribution now comes from people, not from posts.
Which leads right into the best content plays. The safe stuff, a random blog post, it just doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't create exposure. The high-leverage plays are things like guest teaching in a paid community, running a monthly workshop, and, most critically, building referral partnerships.
Referrals are just gold. They convert 3 to 5 times better than any other lead.
And 84% of B2B buyers start their search with a referral. If you aren't building those partnerships, you are missing almost all of your best traffic.
And for founders specifically.
Daily, founder-led content, 5 times a week. Sharing wins, sharing failures. It builds authority and creates an inbound pipeline that scales way better than cold outreach ever could.
Okay, last one, a quick conversion tactic. Optimizing the CTA commitment level.
This is such an easy win. It's about reducing stress. We saw a case study where just lowering the commitment on the CPA increased transactions by 28%.
So instead of buy now right away.
Use something more exploratory, something lower stakes. It's like asking someone to move in on the first date. It's just too much.
Right, so changing it to something like see availability or explore options.
Exactly. That small change increased product page visits by almost 10%. It just matches the action to where the user actually is in their journey. You reduce the friction instead of trying to force the sale.
What a dense block of ideas. Okay, to summarize the big shifts we covered. First, visibility is this dual challenge now. Search is splitting into 2 different AIs while also merging with social.
Right. Second, relevance means you might need to engineer 6 or more customer journeys for just one product.
And third, brand loyalty isn't about efficiency anymore. It's about emotional connection and that tangible human touch.
And the mandate for you, as a founder, is to stop obsessing over simple click metrics. That kind of attribution it fails to see the long-term value of thought leadership, of video, of great creative. You have to invest in earned channels like referrals and community. That's where sustainable growth is.
So here's the final thought for you to take away this week. Given this rise of physical products, this digital fatigue we all feel, and this powerful anti-AI sentiment, how can you intentionally design an analog touchpoint for your digital brand?
A physical letter, a small in-person event.
Something tangible and delightful that can create an emotional shift that scaled automation just simply cannot replicate.
A great challenge to think on.
Until next time, apply these insights wisely. We'll talk soon.
Spoken Tech for your ears.